You're watching Telecom TV from the SCWS World event in London, and I'm joined now by Alan Law, who is chair of the Small Cells Forum. Alan, thanks for joining us on Telecom TV. As the number of small cell deployments accelerates, and also with an eye on the game-changing potential of 5G, are we about to see an end to the monolithic old radio access network?
I'd say, we're at a fascinating time actually in terms of technology evolution. Within the access and within the core network as well. It's really transforming how networks are created and the options that you really have to create those networks. Big trends, the virtualization gives you the flexibility and the scale, and we're seeing that cascade all the way down into the access. And within the Small Cell Forum, we have NFAPI work, which is extending virtualization into the access and really just having a physical element at the end. And not only that, what you're seeing is with orchestration and new services, great opportunities to tailor and customize how you deliver applications and services to customers.
So tell me more about the new HetNet reference architecture document that the forum has published this week.
What we've published is our HetNet foundations, and really, I think you touched upon it earlier, what you're seeing with networks, they're becoming, diverse in the sense of delivery. Customers want a really great data experience at the end of the day, and whether that data is being delivered through Wi-Fi network or license exempt technologies, many which you see here, such as LAA and LWA that are being discussed. In addition to that, what you're also seeing is really how you deliver that consistency between the macro network and this much broader and denser small cell network. And the HetNet Foundation is really about laying out, in a way, all of the ingredients that you need to have that high-performing HetNet and how you can start to bring those together to give you the right performance. And the reason it's so critical right now is that operators need to understand this to make sure that when they're investing in the right way, in a way which will be future-proof and give them that smooth journey to 5G. But we thought it was so critical that it was important to lay those foundations right now and right here.
So as we enter this multiverse with multi-domain, multi-technology, multi-spectrum, how do operators make sense of all this?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a multi-X world now. As you say, there's multiple domains. You're looking to try and deliver technologies for multiple operators with multiple vendors and multiple capabilities and multiple services. As you say, so the solution space that is really open to operators is growing in so many dimensions. And really, our role as a forum is really about educating and providing the insight that they really need so that they can understand the right paths that allow them to go through this ever-increasing technology choice and multi-X dimensional space and really have the right paths that will deliver the right services and the right capabilities and the right cost points for them.
The Small Cells Forum is a carrier-led forum, but do you also have the need to bring your ideas and practices into the standardization process?
It's certainly important to make sure that the standards are addressing the services and the opportunities that are there. Within the forum, we typically look at the work that has taken place, so we're not planning to reinvent the wheel, and then we'll try and address any gaps that are there in place, and we'll talk to the SDOs in order to do that. If there's an absolute gap, then we'll look to address that ourselves.
So what are the main drivers for an operator looking to invest in HetNets?
It starts with the customer. We've heard in a number of presentations here at Small Cells World that the customers typically don't care about technology, they just really want a great experience. And then operators, listen to their customers and then are really looking to take that mentality and that thought process and then working with the technologies in order to do that. And the HetNet really is the fundamental way that data and services are delivered. And when you look at how data is growing and exploding, particularly now we're seeing 280% growth projected in enterprise, enormous volumes of data being shifted, the sense of the impact and the amount of data that is transacted with customers, increasingly that is being delivered over small cell networks, and by 2020 it'll be well over 90%.
You talked about the phenomenal growth in data, but how do you also create a HetNet framework that supports the growing number of Internet of Things devices and sensors that we're going to see on the network?
I know it's a fascinating world. It's really exciting actually, and and all of these sensors are really to make our world more efficient and better. And whether that's for driving productivity in industry, whether that's for your health and well-being, whether that's just for the convenience of turning the light on and off. So there's an absolute explosion of opportunity there. Very much where the small cell journey has come from has been about addressing those early needs which were about coverage, and then that transacted into delivering the capacity to really enrich those services, and now it's very much focused on the verticals and enabling new opportunities. And IoT is a new space, a fascinating space, a space which is projected to grow rapidly, and it'll certainly be an area that we'll look at within the forum.
Are we in effect moving up the stack here? We've started by looking at the role of small cells to increase coverage. Now we're looking at services, the demands of vertical markets and industry.
Yeah, I'd say we are in the sense of maturity. If you think about your journey, it starts very much about convincing the market that you can deploy small cells and they will work well, and you'll address all of those interference challenges. And then it moves into the performance benefits that you get. And very much when we started, that was about addressing coverage holes. Now clearly as networks have matured and rollouts have continued to grow, it's not so much about coverage, it's about services. So, where before having been able to make a voice call was sufficient, and quite often in many applications for business, smart working, if you're trying to use, Microsoft 365 in the cloud, if you don't have a great data service, then your service is not good. So, it moved into that space, and now what we're really starting to see, and there'll be, there's a number of great use cases and applications here about how you can actually enrich the service and the applications within the market to drive new revenue opportunities that are beyond voice and data and capacity into this whole new sales space.
Alan, thank you very much indeed.